morning, everyone.
We ready?
Live from the TXU Energy Studio.
The Rule and Ryan Show with producer Eric, Special K, and Sam.
104.1 KRBE.
Did you know the 3-digit extension is a...
All right, let's hit it. Now time for Rule and Ryan's prank call.
Prank call comes in so many different forms. Everything from robocalls to telemarketer turnarounds to good old-fashioned pranks.
Tell me you've got a voice going here, because I can only imagine all the voices you have in your personality file cabinet in your brain. Which one did you use?
Homeowners Association President Richard Hunt. You can call me Dick.
I will.
And it has to do with somebody's pets.
Here we go. This is what's going on here.
I want to prank my boyfriend, Martin. He walks our 2 dogs in the morning, and he thinks no one's watching him at 5:30 in the morning. It's so dark. But he hasn't been picking up. Sometimes he doesn't pick it up because he forgets a bag for the poop. But, yeah, I keep telling him he's going to end up in the neighborhood Facebook because others have been caught and they called them out and put a picture of them. So I just kind of wanted to do a little prank for his birthday.
Okay, and y'all have a homeowners association?
She has mentioned it before, and we haven't paid our dues. It's nothing big. It's voluntary, but yeah, I think it would be funny.
And then what kind of dog is it?
They are 2 Australian Shepherds.
That's not American. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, can I tell you a little side note since I'm broadcasting from the house?
Yep.
I like to open the shade right when we start the show, and it's still dark outside.
Yeah.
And I can totally see that happening because people can't see me, but I can see them. Because usually they'll have like a little glow collar on their dog, or they have like a light of some sort so they don't get hit by a car. And I'm just waiting for someone to just let their dog
Hey. That's the pain pill. Stop it.
What's on the filters? The filter is off.
crap out of my yard, and they're not going to know that I'm watching them let their dog do it. But okay, it's really funny because you didn't know who's watching. Let's see how this goes.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's give him a call about these dumps from the Australian Shepherd. Oh, Sam.
They're perfect dogs.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Oh, this is Richard Hunt from the Homeowners Association and Civic Club.
Yes, sir.
I'm calling regarding a situation that we have discovered on folks' ring cameras. Unfortunately, I have to talk to you about a trespassing complaint.
Okay.
What had happened was that one of your neighbors sent in the ring cam footage to our Facebooks, and we've got footage of you and 2 animals defecating on folks' yards in the dark in the morning.
Oh, okay. I usually pick it up unless it's one of the mornings I didn't have a bag on me.
And that's what I was going to offer you if you needed a Kroger's bag or something along those lines.
Yeah, because, really, I just ran out of bags like last week, and I just bought some this weekend.
Sounds like you're pooping but not scooping. Okay. You can see what I'm saying here.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And unfortunately, as you may have seen, these turd patties are causing patty dots in folks' yards. You could see with the drought and everything, it's like polka dot yards. It looks like a Dalmatian in folks' yards with all the dookies that you've been leaving behind.
I don't think it's a lot. I don't think it's maybe it happened like once. I'm pretty good about picking it up.
I see. I hope you washed your hands after that. It's nasty. What are you feeding these mongrels? It's weird. How it's burning up the yards. Is it Mountain Dew or Pringles? I don't know. What do you feed these mongrels?
What are you talking about, man? I just feed them dog food.
Okay. Now, one of those yards was mine, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And I am the president of the Homeowners Association. And you're lucky I didn't catch you that day. I'd come on out there. My slippers.
Okay, which house was it?
It was the one with the brick on it, sir. You know exactly. I feel like you're taunting me, and because you haven't paid your dues, and you and I both know you haven't paid your dues.
Okay, but it's also voluntary. This neighborhood does not have a mandatory HOA fee.
Okay, well, I guess you're voluntarily dumping in folks' yards just to show us what for, and I ain't well for that, sir, and that's why I'm calling you today, see if we could work this out.
Okay, and I'm asking you which house is it? I could go pick it up if it's still there, if you really want me to come pick it up.
Hold on. Are you saying you're going to come on down here?
I'm not home right now. You need me to come down after work, so...
Oh, and how big of a feller are you?
It doesn't matter how big I am.
Sir, should we come cuff to cuff, fist to fist? I wanted to see what I'm up against here. You know, don't want you throwing poo patties at me.
Why would I throw poop patties at you?
Well, I don't do it. You're leaving them all over my yard, and I figured, you must have some kind of nerve. You come at me with Dookie and Kroger's bag. I don't know. You tell me.
I'm just telling you which house is it. I'll come by and pick it up if that's big of a deal.
Sir, you come by my house, I'm going to lay you across my lap and spank you in front of your family and friends like a geriatric jiu-jitsu.
Okay, sure.
All right.
I would like to try, but I'm not just asking you. Want me to come pick it up? I'll come pick it up.
Yes,
Not a
sir.
problem.
Yes, sir. And while you're there, I'd like you to actually cut on my grass a little bit, take the weeds out as in consolation.
Okay. Now you're asking for too much.
No, my yard is piddle-pattied with poop patties.
I'm asking you, which house do you live at?
They're the one with the brick across from the Papa John's.
Across from the Papa John's?
Yes, sir. On the north-south side.
The Papa John's is all the way up 518?
No, sir. It's in the neighborhood. We're running a Papa John's out of the hood. Sir, these dogs, I'm looking at the camera here. Are they Australian dogs?
They're Australian Shepherds, yes.
Sir, you can't have Australian dogs up in Texas. That's illegal. That's not an American dog. You need an American dog in our...
Okay.
Are you confused?
Man, you're so good. Fire with that.
Man,
You stayed on a lot longer than I thought. I would have hung up on you.
Okay, so then what happens, Kev?
Normally what I'll do is I'll give them a couple days to cool down, right? And then I'll call up and get them fired up again. Well, he went ahead and called our number back. I have a separate phone number that I use at the radio station. Ahmad goes hollering at me, or Sam did. One of y'all did. One of y'all kids came in
You're
and grabbed
slipping
me.
into character.
Okay, so they come in and grab me. The phone is ringing, and I grab it, and this is what happens. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Who's this?
Hey, we were speaking earlier, correct?
Yes, correct.
You were going to come on down there and kick my ass? All right.
Oh, my God. That's not necessary. It's just dog poop.
You're not going to wallop me?
I mean, unless you force my hand.
Oh, no, that would be Nereida. Is that what her name is? Nereida?
Narrator?
Narrator.
That's my girlfriend.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought she sounded like y'all were married or something like that. I didn't know she would do shenanigans on just a boyfriend. My name is Special K.
Oh, my God.
I'm from KRBE. It's the Rula and Ryan show.
Wow.
Martin, don't worry. You can let your doggy Aussies poop wherever they want. I'm not going to come on down there.
I don't gotta find your house. I'm gonna come down to the radio station.
Martin, listen, like I mentioned, I'm only messing with you. Nereida asked me to prank call you here at KRBE.
Oh my God, this girl.
I know. She listens to our show in the morning, and she knows that I do prank calls, and she thought it'd be the perfect opportunity to get you for sneaking around the neighborhood and pooping the door. Do you have a message that you would like to share with her on the radio for doing this?
Yeah, just to watch her back, and that I love her very much. Watch where she steps.
Can you say, Special K pranked me on the Rula and Ryan show?
Special K pranked me on the Ruler and Ryan show.
All right.
Oh my God! Don't feed your dogs Mountain Dew and Pringles.
Watch your back. I love you, but watch your back.
And watch where you step.
No, watch where you step.
I don't want him coming to KRB. He'll throw the poop on my car.
You're gonna wallop.
But
He's
the
gonna
back
wallop
of
you.
Kevin's truck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. If you want to be part of a prank call with Special K, go to krbe.com/prank call requests, and he'll get with you as soon as possible to have some fun with someone in your life, just like that. Coming up next, we want to hear your unbelievable but true stories. This guy's probably going to go to work and say, "Dude, you guys hear me on the Rule and Ryan show today?"
Some crazy guy.
I know, I'm not crazy. I actually was that guy that Special K said, I feed my dog Mountain Dew and Pringles. Okay.
It's time for Believe It or Not. Believe it or not.
The number is 713-390-KRBE. Whether it happened to you or someone you know, it sounds unbelievable, but it's true. We'll hear from you next on KRBE. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, 713-390-KRBE is our phone number. That is where you call us and tell us an unbelievable but true story. And when you tell people, they're like, nah, that didn't happen. But it did. So we're going to go to the phones. Sarah is up first. Hi, Sarah. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. So what is your Believe It or Not story?
So it's a crazy story that happened. So back in February, the week when they kidnapped those people in Matamoros.
Oh, yeah.
So that same,
Wait, of this
that
year?
same week, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that same week, I was traveling with two of my kids, my husband, and we were just driving, not even too far from the border.
Mm-hmm.
So as we were driving, we had an ATV because we were going to leave it to a family member. We had our bags, and out of nowhere, we see like these soldiers, and we're like, "What's going on with these people?" So they gunpoint us, and they were trying to kill us and kidnap us and take our. They're trying to kidnap my kids.
Are you talking about on the American side of the border?
No, the Mexican side.
Okay, so you're in Matamoros.
Yes.
Okay.
So out of nowhere, they take my husband out, and I'm the only one in there. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, let me take my kids out, and they're trying to rush me out, and they're like, no, we're gonna take them. I'm like, no, you're not. So I just snatched them out. I snatched them out the car, and they just drove off, and I was like, wow, I never really thought this happened until like this happened to me. I thought this is something that happens in the movies.
So you're telling me these guys at gunpoint tried to take your kids, and basically you saying no made them run off? You're saying no, you can't have them, and they just left you alone?
They let me take my kids out at the end. I guess because they were scared or something. So I took them out, and then 2 weeks ago, they recently called me and said, hey, we found your truck. And I was like, wow, when does this ever happen? Like, when do you ever find your property back? And they told us at last minute that the people that robbed us ended up getting killed because they were trying to kill other people, and those other people ended up killing us.
Whoa. So you only got your truck found, not necessarily back, but what about the ATV?
Everything was gone. My passports, my luggage, everything.
Was the truck stripped?
And I was so sad.
That sucks.
I mean, how terrifying they were trying to
though.
take the truck with your kids in it until you had to just fight for them to get out of the truck. And then the truck is gone. I mean, once you have your kids, of course, you're like, okay, who cares about the rest of the stuff? But it's so
what happens now?
the
Like
whole thing.
what happens now with like insurance of the truck and stuff? Like,
so when I called the insurance, they said they couldn't do nothing about it because when they stole it, it wasn't in U.S. or Canada territory. So I was screwed, and I was so sad because it was like a 2020 truck, and I had just paid it off. I was like, wow, finally. So
just paid it off. That's painful.
Yeah. So when they called me 2 weeks ago, I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, I found it. It's like it's fine. They stole my passport.
It was in good shape,
ATV,
though.
everything. It was in good shape, and that was a good thing. I thought they were gonna destroy it because it's a diesel truck. So I thought they were gonna put DEF or they're gonna put gas inside of it without or not diesel. No, it was perfectly good.
It's a scary area. You know, it didn't used to be that way. We used to go to spring break there. We'd go down to Brownsville and we'd cross the bridge. We'd go down there and party, and it's not a place you want to go anymore.
So you're not going to go back anymore?
Yeah, how do you feel about that? You said you have family there.
You said, Sarah. I don't know.
Well, I don't know, but I'll go in airplane, but not driving. And then the crazy part is when they robbed me, they took my phone as well, but I guess they didn't know how to turn it off. They put, I think, what's that? There's a button whenever you press on the side, like a medical emergency or something like that. Yeah. It crashed. So I guess they didn't know how to turn it off. They activated that, and it automatically showed everyone that I have as my medical contact or emergency contact.
Yeah.
So they knew where to pinpoint my phone. My son found it, my oldest son, and he's like, look, your phone's here. So whenever the cops helped me, that was the only thing I had. And the good thing is on my phone, I had my passport. I have everything, every copy of every little thing so I could cross back.
So they found that phone soon after the incident, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I guess they were scared. Like, I think they thought they automatically called the cops, so they just threw it out.
Okay.
So that was the only thing I recovered from that robbery.
Wow.
Incredible.
Wow. That is...
Just be grateful you've got your lives.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
I don't think I'd be going back. Like you said, not by a car. No way. Not by a car.
But
not by car, Sarah. Thanks for calling the show, Sarah.
Okay.
We're glad you're safe and your kids are safe. Thank you so much for your story. 713-390 KRBE is our phone number. It's Believe It or Not. Marisol. Is that right? Marisol is your name? Hi. Welcome to the Real and Ryan Show.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Hey, we're great. So what's your Believe It or Not story?
So I was pregnant with my first child. I was about 5 months pregnant, and I was going to visit my family back in Ecuador. So I needed to do some last-minute shopping for Christmas. And so I got to the store. It was a Sunday. I got to the store early, and I thought it was going to be open. So I approached the door. It was the Gap store in Rice Village.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, yeah, the Gap right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I go, and then I realize the door is locked. So I look at the schedule on the side, and it said it was open at 10. I think it was like 9:45 or something. And as soon as I turn around to walk back to my car, I hear this noise. And and within seconds, I didn't know what it was. A car ran in through the Gap. Like
it drove into the storefront?
Yes, and the whole glass came down. The lady that was driving was an older lady that thought that she braked, but she accelerated and went into the
gosh.
And my baby and I were like literally saved by an angel. My dad at that time, and I just spared our lives. I mean, I'm here. I don't know how, because I just heard a noise. I heard a screech, and then I just heard the glass, and I was literally like 2 inches away from the car.
So so you stopped, the door was locked, you turned around, and then the car came from the left side, like you were going to the left?
Yeah, so like when I look at the store and I saw that lights were off, so I just kind of turned around to go back to my car, and then I just felt like this wind behind me, but I didn't know what it was.
Gosh.
And then the car just ran. I mean, the entire door of the Gap was completely destroyed. The lady went into the shop. Yeah.
That just happened. I want to say last week or the week before, there was an elderly woman who thought she hit the brake, but she hit the gas. And unfortunately, she did kill one or two people in that car dealership. Oh, wow.
That happens more often than we've heard. We've seen that in Houston news a lot, unfortunately. Marisol, we're so glad you're okay. That is really unbelievable.
It was very scary because she also had her grandchild in the back.
Oh, wow.
So my first reaction after I saw all the glass, I saw this car seat, and being pregnant, I guess my instinct just goes like, is the baby okay? Is the baby okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was very scary, but I'm grateful to God or whoever was, checking us out and making sure we were okay.
It wasn't your time.
Glad you're fine.
How long ago was that? I'm trying to remember when the Gap had that car run in there in Rice Village. How old is your child now?
So my daughter is 20. She's in college, so 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It was 20 years ago.
Marisol, thanks for sharing your story. You have a great day.
Were you able to go in there and get some extra clothes?
Stop. She's not a looter.
We love you. We love you, too.
Let the woman give us some props. Hold on, Marisol. What were you saying? Let the woman give us some props and let us feel good. Go ahead, Marisol. We cut her off. What'd you say, Marisol?
No. I love you guys so much. I have a long commute, and every morning I'm laughing as I listen to you guys. So thank you for making our mornings fun.
Thank you for being part of the show.
Thank you so much. Marisol,
you're safe.
Awesome. We're glad you're safe. Okay, real quick, I want to go to Eddie. I believe this is about the Richmond Strip in the days that okay, can I give a little backstory?
You and I know that.
If you go down the Richmond Strip, which is between Fountain View and Hillcroft, you will see still to this day traffic signs that say you cannot U-turn between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. And people who are newer to Houston are probably like, why? What's the big deal?
Stupid.
Because in the 90s, after the Rockets won the championships, everybody would go down there and they would just cause these giant traffic jams.
It was wall to wall.
And now nobody does it now, but it's funny, the signs are still there.
You had
all the bars were there.
The bars. You had Kaboom. You had Betty B's Bomber Bar. You had, what was it, Blue Planet. You had all these bars on the Richmond Strip, and now kind of desolate.
6400?
Well, 6400. It was called Peter's Wildlife or something, and then it was like anyway, T-Town 2000. Okay, Eddie is up next. Hi, Eddie.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. You want to share
so
with
your
us?
story is from those days of the Richmond Strip party days.
Oh yeah, back in the day when T-Town was alive.
Yeah, T-Town 2000. That was Peter's Wildlife. Before that was 6400.
What happened?
Yeah. Okay, so we went club hopping, but it wasn't really too much going on, so we went driving around or cruising the strip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just my luck that I had to go to the restroom. I had to pee, so we stopped at the Shell. Well, back then, it's probably still like that. The Shell had the gas station attached to the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so on my way there, this homeless guy stops me. This real tall black dude stops me, and he's like, hey, give me $1, give me $1. And I was like, here, just get out of my way. And, because I really had to go, right? So I give him $1.
Get out of my way.
And, and he gets out of my way. And so I go open the door to the restroom, and man, there is a guy asleep on the toilet wearing this fancy 3-piece suit. The only thing was he was barefooted, and his feet were inside like have you ever seen like those file boxes, the lid, how they have like, you know what I'm talking about? Those carton lids?
The to-go containers?
Yes. Well, no, the carton, just like the top lids for the files.
Files. Oh, the top lids for the files.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Right. His feet were barefooted inside that, and his feet were covered in French fries, like up to his ankles. And you know what? It was like and they weren't frozen. It was like somebody went to McDonald's and took their time to do this elaborate joke.
So the guy was sleeping.
He's passed out. They took his shoes and put French fries on his feet.
In a three-piece suit.
Yes, man, I was about to blow up because I had to pee. All of a sudden, I was like, I lost the urge. I didn't know, that sucker punched me. I didn't know. Yeah, and then the homeless guy comes walking in. He's like, what's wrong? What's wrong, my man? What's wrong? And I'm like, look. He's like, the guy's like, I'll earn my dollar. I'll earn my dollar. Wake up. Hey, you get your steak feet out those French fries. And I was just like,
he had French fries up to his ankles, sitting on a toilet, passed out in a fancy three-piece suit. That is unbelievable.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
And your stank
you know
feet
what?
out there.
Everybody I tell to this day, I'm like, hey, when I die, that's the first question I'm going to ask God. Like, what happened that night?
Why was that guy barefoot in French fries?
Did the homeless guy get the guy to wake up, though? Did the guy wake up, or you got out of there before he...
Well, no, the guy woke up like he came to for a second. His eyes opened, and they were like bloodshot red.
So he partied
just,
too hard and passed out.
I think so. I think he was on heroin or I don't know what.
Were his pants down around his ankles? Or, like he was sitting on the pot, or was he just sitting there like with his pants closed?
No, he was like his pants were up, everything. It just somebody set him down and took his shoes and socks and they put French fries there.
His French fry did that
Somebody
to
went to
him.
the trouble to cover this guy in French fries up to his ankles.
Did you end up going to somewhere to pee?
Well, yeah, eventually I found another spot, but it was just like, I don't know. I don't, I ain't gonna lie, I was drinking, so I don't remember where I peed, but
yeah.
This was right before camera phones.
If I had to reconstruct this, I would basically have to guess that the guy in the suit, a couple guys got done with work in the office. They went out partying. He tied one. He got way too wasted. His friends thought, let's put a little joke on him. Take his shoes.
Put fries on.
Put his feet in
But
French
what about
fries.
the French fries? I don't understand.
Maybe they were eating. They were all like a Jack in the Box or something.
Yeah, they're probably wasted. And they're like, this
Eddie,
looks funny.
hilarious story. Hilarious story. And I bet when you tell people that story, they're like, "Nuh-uh, you're making that up."
It's hard to believe, but I'll believe it.
You didn't see a guy with French fries.
That was before camera phones and all that.
Oh,
he lucked out.
Right.
Yeah, he
so
lucked
like
out.
pick or it didn't happen. Well, you couldn't take a pic back then. Eddie, thanks for sharing the story and giving us a great laugh. That was hilarious.
You're welcome.
Take care, hon. Thanks. Have a good weekend.
And if you were that guy who woke up on a toilet in their feet in
the
French
90s.
fries,
In
then
the 90s,
please
right?
call us.
Yeah, we'd
It's
love
like, oh
to
my
hear it.
God, somebody just told my story on the Rule and Ryan show. I'm the French fry
This
guy.
guy's probably like 55 now.
Yeah, I woke up and I'm like,
60.
where are my shoes? I got fries.
Yeah. That was definitely like the 90, 94, 92, somewhere in those days. Okay, 713-278-VENT is our listener line phone number. That is where you can leave us more stories that are unbelievable but true. Coming up next, a really touching, super special listener line that we want to put the full focus on, and it has to do with something we started our week with. It kind of comes full circle. We'll explain next on The Rule and Ryan Show.
Okay, normally we do Celebrity Scoop right here.
It's brought to you by Innovative Lasers of Houston, and because this is our scoop spot, I just want to, acknowledge we're not actually going to give you entertainment news. We're going to give you something else that you're going to hopefully remember the rest of the day, and it'll stick with you. Because I told Eric last night when I heard this, I was in tears listening to this. Me too. Just a little backstory. Eric, why don't you tell everyone how we started out the work week to give backstory to this listener line call?
Yep, on the 22nd of August, every year on this wonderful show we do, Rule and Ryan, let me take that time of the show to tell you guys about my mom and dad. They both passed away when I was young. Breast cancer and colon cancer, two things that could have been avoided. Could have been if they got checkups, and they weren't doing checkups in the 90s, I guess. Or they didn't have the right insurance. They just didn't do it. And because of that, I'm an orphan. And so I always plead for people, just, yes, I might say some weird stuff on the radio, but the one thing, listen to me, get your checkups. Don't put it off. Don't just say, I'll do it next month.
Listen to your body.
It's like people going to the dentist, right? People just, I'll go to the dentist. I'll make the appointment next week. No, today's the day. Today's Friday at 7:43. When you get to work, call your doctor, get your checkup set up. especially now is a good time because the fall's coming up. Maybe you got your deductible paid off. Go get your colonoscopy, get your mammograms, all that good stuff. So I always preach that stuff. And I have, through the years, been lucky enough to have some people call me and say that they listened to that and they got checkups and they found out they had like stage 3, some stage 4s. Some just found out they had it, cancer, and they would never have checked, for maybe 10, 15 years. But because they checked that day, their life was saved.
Early prevention is
makes
the
me
best
feel
cure.
like knowing my parents didn't die in vain. Like there's a reason that had to happen, and I've been lucky enough to have the microphone to preach that. So that's
right.
What I did on Monday.
So the listener line is 713-278-VENT. People can call at any time, 24 hours a day, and leave a message about whatever. And Eric, you passed this call on. Let's share it with the audience now.
All right, here it is.
Hi, this message is actually for Eric. My name is Joyce, and on August 22nd, I had sent you a text on your text line to let you know that you, in part, helped to save my life. I am a breast cancer survivor, woot woot, and I was diagnosed in 2020 in September. So when I heard you in August going on and on about take care of yourself, you find it, check it. So, and just a month later, in a shower, found something odd, and then I thought about you. Pretty strange. I thought about you in the shower, but you were saying just get it checked. So I sat on it that night. 2 days later, I was in the Rose getting a mammogram. After test, found out stage 2 breast cancer. It had metastasized, so it had already spread to my lymph nodes. Went to MD Anderson. Big, huge, giant shout out to everyone there. They took phenomenal care of me. I was diagnosed during the pandemic. So not only did I listen to you, and as scared as I was, I went and got checked, found out it was cancer, but they never said you're going to die. And of course, that was my first question. But anyway, I didn't know if you had seen it, but I just want you to know that you not only helped to save a life, but you made an entire family ecstatic because their mom and their Mima, their wife, is going to be here. So keep on rubbing it in and telling people get checked. Thank you so much. I know this was long. Bye-bye.
Oh, Joyce.
That's got to make you feel good.
Just love it.
Knowing her family has her in their life still. That's all I ever want,
That's
man.
huge.
I don't want anybody to not have their parents or grandparents.
Early
or
detection
kids.
is just the most important thing. If you feel anything wrong with your body, listen to your body. And you bring up a great point, though. It's like maybe you're just like, I don't care. What happens to me. Now, you can't think that way because the trail of devastation you'll leave behind,
Ripple
your
effect.
family is going to be destroyed. Do it for them.
Somebody on text said, I'm getting my mammogram today, and my twin brother is getting his colonoscopy today. So I hope, that everything goes well for them. And I think a lot of people have a lot of fear of the unknown, and they'd rather just keep it unknown so they don't have to actually face it.
The hard part is the people in their 20s and 30s because
you don't have a sense of mortality yet. You don't realize that.
And you
can
don't really
happen
get
to
checkups at that age. They don't tell you that,
They don't tell
they're
us
not going to tell you the colonoscopy at 24 if you have no history.
No.
Right.
And then you find out you're the one a few years later.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wish there was a way like our government could pay for or something, how we could all get checkups free or something every year just to see for cancer. Because wouldn't that be cheaper down the road?
You would think. That would make too much sense, Eric.
Well, it's because in the, what is it? You've heard that healthcare is actually not healthcare, it's sick care. It's about your health. However, it's all about when you're sick and they're trying to treat you to be healthy versus you're healthy and they're keeping you healthy.
Here's the thing I would recommend also.
Yeah.
If you do, God forbid, get hear the C word that you don't want to hear. Nobody wants to hear it. And always have somebody go with you. Remember when you found out that you had a form of leukemia? I said, make sure that you've got your wife or somebody with you.
And get a second opinion.
Always get a second opinion.
And that's news to a lot of people, Ryan. So Eric has to now explain that because people are like, wait, what now? And they're going to screech their tires that Eric has a form of leukemia.
But it's basically I found it 40 years early, they said. I have CLL. A lot of people have it, and I'm really barely there. They caught it. Like I said, I shouldn't have even found out I had this
You
until
basically did like a forensic wash of your
70.
blood.
Was this Lumpy?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even Lumpy. Yeah,
Lumpy is another guy.
Yeah, Lumpy's been pretty good. So I mean, I keep my eye.
But once again, you got to listen to your body, and you can't freak out when you hear that word. Look, I freaked out when I heard cancer for the first time. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I started thinking I was going to die. For a while, it did look like I was going to. But, and then when they told me it spread to my lymph nodes, I'm like, oh my God. But then if you've got another set of ears with you and you hear, oh yeah, you can live a normal life.
Do they ever show anything like stats like positivity? Because I know so many people that have had cancer, like our friend Minu.
Oh my God, I was just thinking of her, Eric. I was like, we need to put her on the air again.
She's been through it all, but she's always positive, and now, I mean, it's amazing. She's
having a positive attitude, however you
having
do
a positive circle of people around you.
You know, and there's something to be said about the power of prayer too. Whether you believe or not, it's documented that if you have that belief and you do say your prayers, it can't hurt you. That's for sure.
I wanted to share a conversation I had with someone who was just diagnosed and will have surgery for breast cancer. Mm-hmm. She wasn't feeling the boost from people. Like, you've got this. You go, girl. You're going to kill cancer. She felt anxiety. She felt like she didn't want to hear that. She wanted to fight her own battle in her own way, and it was weird. She didn't want that. She didn't want that vote of confidence from people because I guess maybe she didn't want to even think about having it, or she was feeling uneasy about if she was going to beat it or not, and her head was kind of,
But she's entitled to that. Everybody's journey is their own journey. No two people are going to do it the same way.
It's hard for you, though, because you
you want to be positive. You want to say,
and you
got this, is going to be okay. Well, she was like, well, maybe it's not going to be okay. Maybe it is going to be troublesome for the next couple of years or for the rest of my life.
You got to let her have her feelings. Her feelings are her feelings. And I would say to you, I mean, as somebody that's gone through it twice, knowing that somebody just says something as simple as, hey, whatever the outcome is, I'm here for you, and I'll be by your side.
Yeah.
And now mean
and
the
to
world.
your point,
Yeah,
Special
good.
K, I'm going to give you the opposite of that just real quick, because we're right. I mean, we want to be happy, shiny, bright people for everyone. But, my sister-in-law, Mia, died of glioblastoma in 2016. She was we were all totally shell-shocked when she went to the doctor because she wasn't typing right and everything was incorrect when she would type, and then they hit us with the worst thing you could get hit with, a terrifying tumor in the middle of your hemispheres on your stem of your brain. It's totally unbeatable. Like, you can't, there is no bright light to the tunnel. You just go by the day by day. And you know that Rachel Platten fight song that everyone's like, oh, do you know that I hate that song? Do you know that I hate that song sometimes? Because it was like, oh, this is a great song. Well, guess what? It's not always going to work out. And you can fight all you want, but it's not. And here's the cross that people bear that get that kind of diagnosis is you have to just now start thinking of the miracles. Of course, we prayed so hard and so many people rallied for her, but glioblastoma almost is never beat. It's almost never beat. You have to really think about your family in a different way. Like, what can I do for when I'm not going to be here? She had only a second grade child when she died. So everybody's cancer journey is different. We always wish the best. We always want to fight for them, and we always want to rally for them. But if you are in that place where you've gotten something like that, I want you to think about it in a different way, because you might not want to think of the end result. But if the doctors are telling you, I don't know what day it's going to be, but it might not, the odds are against you. Like, try and do things for your family. Like, record yourself reading their favorite book, or do something to make memories for them to have forever.
Well, you do. You enjoy every second that you have. You have to.
But a lot of times you can't because you're
can't
so
enjoy
sick.
every second that you have. I'm just saying, like, try and do something to. I know she's in our hearts forever. Y'all know I was deeply, like, a black hole in my heart, a black hole in our hearts when she died in 2016. That beautiful angel of a woman, and then the next year my best friend died of the same thing. Within a year and a month of each other.
Something you never heard of. We never heard anyone that really have it that much.
Had never heard of it. I just want anybody who is struggling with the reality, you've come to the reality it's not going to work out. I want you to try and do your best to do something to give your family something they can go back to. Like, I just want to hear their voices again.
And it's hard, right? Because you can't tell that person, like, hey, could you record this or do this?
Right.
You don't want them to feel like, what, you want me to record that because you think I'm not going to be here? It's tough.
I know. It's just a weird way to approach it, but in some way,
I did when
if you can approach it,
when my
approach it.
When my Uncle Terry was facing pancreatic cancer, I knew this was going to be the last time that we saw each other. And I said, it would really mean the world to me if I could just have a picture with you right now. And we took one, and I thank God that I did.
But that's because you didn't live there. You didn't live there, so that would have been an easier way to get that picture. When I'm talking to somebody every single day,
lives there.
I couldn't say, hey, can you make sure you record all these things so we can have this when you're not here? I mean, it's just such a strange thing, but if you can pull it off, please pull it off. You know what I mean? Please pull it off if you can pull it off.
I'm the opposite. If something happens to me, I'm telling you guys, burn all the raw feeds. I don't want
probably for the best.
Erase everything that I've ever said on the radio. I don't need my kids and family hearing
you want people to talk
Show
to
me
you.
your TikToks.
Sam, I'll put you in my will.
I got you.
I'll give you some cash. If you
Thanks for the laugh, Eric. Burn all the raw feeds.
Delete it all.
I'll at least show your TikToks.
Delete those too.
Coming up next, we're going to do open phones at 713-390 KRBE, 713-390 KRBE. We'll talk to you next on the Rule and Ryan Show.